Little Miss Ragamuffin by Ali Bongo 327. And yes, my voice has indeed changed since my last upload 3 years ago. Original concept by Roger Hargreaves, 2018, and I'm reading it in 2023. Wow. Little Miss Ragamuffin was a ragamuffin. You will have no actual idea how untidy she was. She never had baths, she didn't wash her face, she didn't brush her teeth, she wore a tatty old hat and mismatched tatty shoes. If you looked up the word ragamuffin in the Mr. Men Encyclopedia of Interesting Words, this is what it would say. Ragamuffin, an untidy and quite grubby Mr. Man or Little Miss. If you like, there are other words on here that start with the letter R that you could look at if you like. Now, she lived in a very ramshackly old house in Misterland. The roof was thatched and had lots of holes. The windows were not broken but were very crooked. The paintwork on the door was all peeling off. But don't feel sad for her. This was how she liked it. She liked nothing better than pottering about in her ramshackle home. She didn't mind that there were buckets collecting the rainwater as it came through the roof. She didn't mind the tap in the bedroom sink was broken as she didn't see the need to wash. She just enjoyed being herself, untidy and scruffy. The trouble was that the other Mr. Men and Little Misses thought that Little Miss Ragamuffin couldn't possibly like living like that. They thought they should go to see her and help her to tidy herself up a bit. One very day, Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy went to visit Little Miss Ragamuffin. "We've come to visit you," said Little Miss Neat. "Mr. Nosy just told us how ragamuffin-y you are." "Correctico," said Little Miss Tidy. "We've come to tidy your house up." Little Miss Ragamuffin was apoplectic and threw them both into her bathroom sink. "I'm fine the way I am," cried Little Miss Ragamuffin. "Why don't you just leave me alone?" Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy were flabbergasted. "Well," they cried in unison, "we've never known anyone to be so rude." "Well, actually, I suppose Mr. Rude is, and Mr. Curmudgeon, and Mr. Vexatious," said Little Miss Tidy. Little Miss Neat wouldn't give up though. "How about if I just get Mr. Fussy to come and fix your holy old roof? Wouldn't that make you feel better?" she said. "No," cried Little Miss Ragamuffin. "I need the rain to come through the holes in my roof to fill my buckets because the tap in the sink doesn't work." "We'll get Mr. Fussy to fix the tap," cried Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy in unison. "No," cried Little Miss Ragamuffin again. "I like having the fresh rainwater. Just stop all your fussing and leave me alone." "Well, I must say you really are very ungrateful. We're only trying to make you more comfortable," said Little Miss Neat. "And cleaner and tidier too," added Little Miss Tidy. Little Miss Ragamuffin decided to change the subject and show them her chocolate room, which is where she ate all her chocolate. Chocolate was all she ever ate. "How exceptionally rude," they said. "Have we ever told you about Mr. Chocolate? Well, Mr. Chocolate thinks that whenever someone eats chocolate, he's afraid they might accidentally eat him instead. You see, if Mr. Chocolate saw anyone eating chocolate, he would take away it from them and throw it in the nearest dustbin." Crazy, innit? "Oh," exclaimed Little Miss Ragamuffin. "Well, I hope Mr. Chocolate doesn't come to visit me then. He may take my chocolate away, or worse still, I might just eat him up." Suddenly, she noticed that Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy had gone rather quiet. This smells absolutely delicious in here," said Little Miss Neat, her mouth full of chocolate. "It most certainly does," exclaimed Little Miss Tidy, stuffing her third chocolate truffle into her mouth. Little Miss Ragamuffin smiled. "Well, help yourself, there's plenty to go around." Suddenly, Little Miss Ragamuffin stopped smiling. "But what will I do if Mr. Chocolate should come around to my house and take all my chocolate away?" "Oh, don't worry, Little Miss Ragamuffin," cried Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy in unison. Mr. Chocolate doesn't like to go to scruffy and untidily places. He will never visit here. Whew, sighed little Miss Ragamuffin. That's the perfect reason to leave everything the way it is. Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy realised they were beaten. Now there was no way they could tidy up Little Miss Ragamuffin. After they had eaten a very large quantity of Little Miss Ragamuffin's chocolate, it was time for Little Miss Neat and Little Miss Tidy to go home. They looked like two completely different little misses. Not only were they a little bit plumper, they were also an awful lot scruffier. You know, if this is the only way we can eat chocolate, we'll just have to be ragamuffins, they laughed. This is what the new edition of the Mr. Men Encyclopedia of Interesting Words now says. Ragamuffin, an untidy and quite grubby Mr. Man and Little Miss. Much like Little Miss Neat or Little Miss Tidy. They also changed the other words, so you can read them too if you like. Well, there you have it. Better to live scruffy and raggly into ramshackle old house than to live without chocolate. Don't you agree?